Run right here. Obviously, a big pay-per-view to make your UFC debut. So I guess just what are the emotions, excitement levels, just now that you are, finally get to step into the octagon on such a massive card?
Man, I've been, singing and dancing all week. Like I can't even sleep. I'm having trouble sleeping at night because just thinking about this whole, process, the event, competing. I'm picturing myself in there. I'm just beyond pumped up.
Were you a guy that would watch the press conferences, the media days, and the weigh-ins like coming up as a fan?
Not really. Nah. I just watch the sometimes like afterwards if there's like clips on the socials, but I mainly just watch the fights.
We spoke a little bit at the welcome to the country ceremony yesterday, and we were talking about your social media presence, where you do these skits, you make these videos, and you're just trying to promote yourself even before you got into the UFC. So I guess what was the decision to like kind of take that route? Was it always something you knew you would have to do to kind of make a name for yourself in the big promotion?
Well, I've always been like that. I just never showed it on the socials, but just getting more comfortable, just putting it out there. I like to especially on Instagram, I like to fuck around a bit, so it's cool to just show that side of me.
Do you feel the UFC is giving you a push already based off of that? Because, we don't really see fighters making their debut at these media days, but here you are sitting up there speaking to us.
Shit, maybe. Maybe.
And did you know much about your opponent, Jubilee, when his name came across your desk, or did you have to look him up when you got the name?
No, I knew. I watched his debut because I was watching that event. I think there was... Vulcan Islam 2, that card. So I was watching live, and I've always thought that might be a name that I'd come up against anyway when I first got in. So, came to fruition.
And he posted, I think, an Instagram video recently before this fight where it was like him jogging, and it said like, "Oh, my knees are finally good. I can run again." So, are you expecting anything different from him, knowing that he might actually be healthy coming into a fight?
Shit, I didn't even know that. Might have to throw some oblique kicks now.
Obviously, big population in India. He has a big following on social media. We hear a lot from fighters when they fight Russians that their DMs just get flooded with, either trash talk or hate. Not because they hate you, just they're repping their guy. Has it been the same with you in terms of fans in India?
Heaps, man. It's been for the last few months. It's been flooded. My whole Instagram, all my comments, and my DMs, but. It's very mixed. Like obviously you're going to get some hate, but probably for the most part it's very much respect coming from the Indian MMA fans. So it's cool to hear it.
Do you feel like a win your popularity in that part of the world? Obviously it might take a hit because you beat their guy, but like now they would know who you are and they may follow you.
Yeah, of course, because I think so. Because I'm not like. An asshole when it comes to this. So I think I'll come across as a good dude, and I think they'll like me.
And just last one for me. What does the headline read after your fight?
Oh shit! Salkilld, flies back to Perth with 50,000 extra.
To your left,
Mitchell.
Mate, how do you feel, man? It's your debut. You're getting some attention, but there's guys like Colby Thickness in their debut, and he's on the Embedded series. They're really pushing the Vault narrative. Like, does that frustrate you at all, or how do you feel about that?
Not at all, man. Like, that's totally understood. Obviously, the Taporia name is very big in the MMA scene. All happy for Colby. More just gutted for my teammate Cody had to. Withdraw due to injury, and I like to say it's funny because they look the same. I say that I think the Taporia team doesn't even know that there's been an opponent swap because they look like twins sometimes. Cody and Colby, even the name. So I think that's quite funny.
And in terms of your teammate, it's a legitimate race to the title, isn't it, between you and Cody Haddon? Like, you guys truly believe that you both will be UFC champions, don't you? Of
course, man. Now I get to catch up with him. So I can have one under my belt, under this one, and, he's already had one, so now we're going to be even in the race.
And heading into this fight, do you have a plan on how you envision this going, or are you more of a kind of wait and see what he brings and what you're going to do? And I think even in previous interviews, you've actually stated that you don't go in with a game plan.
Never really. I like to know what they're gonna, like what kind of style they're gonna bring, but I like to just wing it. Just fight the fight. I don't plan anything in particular. Just wing the game plan.
And final question for me. You seem to develop, I don't think too many people know this, a bit of a sort of every opponent you fight that is from a different nationality. Is it after the weigh-ins or after the fight you enjoy their cuisine?
After the fight. I'm still strict after the weigh-ins, so I think messes with my stomach. Yeah, I try to keep my post-fight meal to the nationality of my opponent.
So what Indian meal are you choosing?
I have to go classic buttered chicken, mate.
What is that?
I don't know anything else.
Quillan back here.
Joel.
Something very striking about you both. You're doing the marketing online, you're doing the skits, but obviously the mustache, it's something you've leaned into and embraced. Sean Strickland was just in here. He's growing a mustache of his own. Have you seen it? And if you have, what do you think of his mustache?
Beautiful. He's got the handlebar style, which I think is great. Obviously, not going to top mine. I'm always going to have the best mustache, I think, in the UFC. I think he's going to get stronger because of it. Like Samson's hair, this is like the source of my power. So, you gain every attribute plus 10 stats.
Last time the UFC was in Australia, Carlos Prates fought. After the fight, he likes to enjoy some cigarettes. You talk about post-fight, things to enjoy. You're a cigar man. Do you have a cigar picked out for after the fight?
I do. Ideally, I want to share a cigar with maybe the winner of the main event, if I can find them afterwards. I've delved into the cigars a bit for like special occasions, like this one. I plan on, being a chimney after this fight for a moment.
You said that the mustache adds plus 10 stats. How are the stats looking going into this fight?
Maxed out. Max prestige, maxed out, everything.
Thank you very much.
Who do you actually have in the main event between Duplessis and Strickland?
Man, I was leaning towards Drickus before, but then when I found out about Strickland's mustache, I was, I might be a bit biased. So it's a hard one now. It's a hard one. The heart says Strickland now, and the brain says, I think, Drickus again. We all set. Beautiful. Thank you.